In the heart of Wisconsin, where the crack of a bat echoes dreams and determination, lies Janesville Craig High School. A place where young athletes strive for glory, and the baseball team stands as a symbol of resilience and passion. The 2024 season has been anything but ordinary. Against the odds, these players have battled through triumphs and setbacks, forging a brotherhood on and off the field. But behind the stats and scores, there are untold stories of grit, of sacrifice, of dreams chased under the floodlights. This is not just a season, it's a journey, an unfiltered look at the spirit of high school baseball. This is Ball Season, an unauthorized documentary on the 2024 Janesville Craig Baseball Team. Welcome to their story. After a long, harsh winter in south-central Wisconsin, the first signs of spring are finally breaking through. The snow is starting to melt on the diamond, the days are getting longer, and anticipation is building. It's almost time for the most exciting season of the year, baseball season, the start of a journey for the 2024 Janesville Craig Cougars. Despite departures from high-octane 2023 team, Janesville Craig Baseball is still stocked with talent. Needing to replace around 70% of the innings played last season, the Cougars have plenty of seniors ready to step up and take over significant roles. Last year's squad went 24-2 after a 22-0 start, outscored opponents 224-23, made a sectional semifinal appearance, and was ranked for much of the season as the #1 team in Division I by Wisports.net. Craig bid farewell to star shortstop Jake Schaffner, now playing at North Dakota State, and speedy center fielder Jack Adams. They will also need to replace Aiden Schenk and Denver Hughes on the mound. Luckily for Craig, its dominant 2023 team was deep and featured several players who will look to seize new opportunities as they gear up for another successful year. The thing that we're looking forward to the most is we've got a lot of seniors that are looking to step up and prove themselves, Cougars coach Josh Shear said. They're looking to pave their own paths and show that they can play some baseball too. After contributing on the mound last season and proving to be incredibly efficient with a 0.98 ERA and a 5-0 record, Drayton Liu is slotting in as the Cougars' ace this season. He's also already proving to be a role model for the team. We really think Drayton Liu has taken an even bigger jump from last year, Shear said. He's working really hard. What he's shown us so far and the amount of work he's put in this off-season, it's incredible. Regardless of how the season plays out for him, I'm really proud of the work that he's put in. Tyler Horkin will slot in behind Liu in the Cougars' rotation. Charlie Klaas, one of Craig's toughest multi-sport athletes, will also pitch some innings this season. Younger players such as newcomer lefty Blake Bowditch, Michael Zink, and Paul Platts will also get shots on the mound. Platts will also see time at shortstop and in center field. Ben Schaffner, a junior, will find some time at second base, and Nick Gregg will also contribute to the team with a changed physique after substantial hard work this offseason. Ben Schaffner and Gregg both were part of Janesville's state-winning American Legion team last summer. Carson McCormick will be a defensive option in the outfield, and at first base, 6'4" senior David DeStefano and his power bat will swing in the heart of the Cougars lineup as the season begins. Behind the dish, junior Ryan Lem will continue being an excellent game manager and hope to contribute more with his bat. He will also get some time at shortstop with senior Anthony Greco helping out behind the plate. While the Cougars have a lot of talent to replace, Shear's club expects to play the same brand of small ball that made them so successful in 2023. It's really exciting to see because whether or not they played much last year, they were still around, Shear said. They saw what being really good was like and how their work ethic was. In this last week with pitcher and catcher sessions, the work ethic that these guys have shown is incredible. I don't know how the season is going to play out. We're always concerned with wins and losses, but these guys are working hard and they're getting better. It's exciting to see, so I'm really looking forward to this season and getting it started. Craig's season is scheduled to begin at 5 p.m. Thursday against Fort Atkinson on Veterans Field at Riverside Park. It's a long season, and the Cougars' chemistry and resilience will fuel them on the field as they try to make another playoff push. Zach Goodrow Special to the Janesville Gazette. Janesville Gazette Extra Staff, March 29, 2024. Despite rusty first game, Janesville Craig cruises past Fort Atkinson. Platts ripped a 3-run double to cap a 6-run third inning in a shortened 10-0 win over Fort Atkinson on Thursday at Veterans Field at Riverside Park. Tyler Horkin, Drayton Liu, and Anthony Greco loaded the bases with a pair of walks and a single, respectively. Ben Schaffner popped out for the second out of the third before Platts came up and delivered. He took a great cut at a first-pitch fastball. Cougars coach Josh Shear said of Platts, "It was great to see him, down in the 9 spot, get a little confidence." Shear said Thursday's game was the first chance for his team to see live pitching this season after a few weeks of having to practice inside. "We were really rusty," he said. "We had a lot of guys getting their first varsity experience tonight, so I think there were some nerves, but for the most part, pretty happy." Liu went 2 for 2 at the plate, including a 2-run single in the fourth that put the Cougars up 10-0, and he threw 4 hitless innings on the mound against the visiting Blackhawks. Drayton had a good fastball, Shear said. "He came out and threw strikes. He did good, but he knows he can do better." Greco also drove in 2 of Craig's runs. The Cougars came within 2 outs of a no-hitter to open the season, but Michael Zink gave up a single to Fort's Jaron Strasburg in the 5th. Craig used the opportunity with a runner on to turn a tailor-made double play to end the game. Shear said the Cougars will practice outside Friday afternoon. "It's going to be exciting to see how this team does this year because their chemistry is fantastic," Shear said. The Cougars started their season strong, cruising past Fort Atkinson with an impressive 10-0 performance, and the producers of this documentary are just getting their feet wet. But this Saturday, they'll face a true test. Traveling to Sun Prairie, the Cougars are set to take on Sun Prairie East, one of the best teams in the state. Sun Prairie East's talent and strategy will challenge the Cougars like never before. Both teams seek a statement win. Will the Cougars rise to the occasion, or will Sun Prairie East assert their dominance? The Janesville Gazette staff. Both Janesville Craig and Sun Prairie East held the lead in the final inning of their Big 8 Conference baseball game Saturday, but it was the host Cardinals who walked off with a 5-4 victory. "We knew what we were getting into, and we learned a lot about ourselves," Shear said. "We have some stuff to work on, but there were a lot of positives to take away." One positive was Craig's go-ahead rally in the top of the 7th inning. East held a 3-2 lead, but Craig's number 8 and 9 batters, Ben Schaffner and Paul Platts, ignited a comeback. Schaffner singled, and Platts followed with a bunt single. Charlie Klaas then advanced them with a sacrifice bunt, and Nick Gregg tied the game with a sacrifice fly. David Dastafno's RBI single brought Platts home, giving Craig their first lead of the game at 4-3. However, East responded in the bottom of the 7th. John Hadley singled, and Isaac Wendler reached on an error. Craig's Drayton Liu was brought into a dire situation and recorded an out on a sacrifice bunt, but runners advanced to second and third. Craig intentionally walked Manny Abreu to load the bases, but Van Vogler's two-run, walk-off single secured East's 5-4 win. Schaffner and Platts each went 2 for 3 at the plate. Tyler Horkins started on the mound for Craig, giving up 3 runs in 3 innings. Finn Dillon pitched 3 scoreless innings in relief, but allowed the tying and winning runs in the 7th. "We need to compete better at the plate, but we'll improve as we see more live pitching," he said. "We'll be a pesky team, and we're not going to give up." Craig returns to action at 5 p.m. Monday at Riverside Park for another Big 8 matchup. A tweak to the batting order paid immediate dividends for Janesville Craig's baseball team Monday night. Paul Platts moved into the leadoff spot for the Cougars, walked to start the game and stole 2 bases before scoring the first of his 2 runs on the night on Charlie Klass's 2-run double. Those runs were the first of a 4-run opening frame, and Craig went on to beat Madison West 10-3 in a Big 8 conference matchup. "We moved Paul Platts up to leadoff just because he's electric fast," Cougars coach Josh Shear said. "He got on right away, stole a base, and scored a couple of runs." Craig's top 4 hitters in the lineup, Platts, Ryan Lem, Klass, and David DeStefano, went a combined 7 for 12 against West, scored 7 runs, and drove in 7. "Getting great at bats from the top of the order really sets the tone," Shear said. Not to be outdone by his teammates at the plate, Drayton Liu threw 4 hitless innings for Craig and struck out 9 Regents before yielding to Klass. "He was probably a little disappointed to get taken out, but he understands the bigger picture," Shear said. "We want to have him available against Sun Prairie East on Friday. It stinks to take a guy out when he's throwing that well, but that was the plan going in." Before the Cougars get their rematch with the Cardinals, they will play the Regents again Thursday night in Madison. After playing East, Craig will travel to Verona, where they will be tested against Wildcats pitcher Jack Detienne, a Xavier University pitching recruit who was throwing 90-plus mph against Milton last weekend. Janesville Gazette staff. Sam Loizo's ever-present smile was a true reflection of his personality. His influence as a husband, father, teacher, coach, photographer, and friend was immeasurable, touching countless lives. With over 6,000 Facebook friends, his popularity was evident to all. After a month-long hospital stay, the longtime Janesville Craig High teacher and photographer to countless Janesville Craig sporting events passed away in March at his Janesville home from cancer complications at 69. A Kenosha native and 1976 graduate of UW-Whitewater, Loizo became a fixture in Janesville. Loizo accepted a teaching job at Janesville Craig High, where he taught humanities for 33 years from 1976 to 2009. While Loizo had many friends, his family was paramount. He met his wife, Laura, on a school trip to Orlando in 1986, and they married in 1988. They had 2 children, Pete and Jessica, and 2 grandsons, Frederick and Cooper, with another granddaughter on the way. Sam's sense of humor and nicknames endeared him to Laura and others. Sam's love for baseball was a close second to his love for family. He frequently took road trips with his son Pete and other close friends to various baseball parks. Pete, now the assistant director of amateur scouting for the Cleveland Guardians, shared special moments with his father, including attending the 2016 World Series games. In retirement, Sam dedicated himself to photography, capturing high school and college events. He amassed over 1.2 million photos online and loved taking pictures of children and families, often staying late to capture key moments. Sam's empathy and humor shone through his work, endearing him to many. Sam Loizo was a 1-in-a-million individual. His smile, stories, and photos will be missed but never forgotten. Michael Zink settled in after hitting the first batter he faced in his first varsity start on the mound, striking out 7 in 6 scoreless innings to lead Janesville Craig to a 4-1 win over Madison West on Thursday. He just pounded the zone with a lot of strikes, Craig coach Josh Shear said. He was locating his fastball down in the zone, and after missing the first couple of curveballs, he started locating that well too. Charlie Klaas had 2 hits and an RBI in the win, and Drayton Liu also had 2 hits and scored a run. We had a tough time getting going hitting-wise, Shear said. Their pitchers didn't walk us and give up free bases. Craig played error-free in the field with Nick Gregg coming up with a couple of nice plays at third base, Shear added. The Cougars will host Sun Prairie East at 5 p.m. Friday at Riverside Park. The Cardinals beat Craig in walk-off fashion last weekend. After that, Craig will play at Verona against Division I recruit Jack Detienne and the Wildcats. It's fun to play against a pitcher of his caliber, Shear said. It'll be interesting to see how our hitters adjust to his velocity.
Baseball, head down to Riverside Park tonight. Nice. Drayton Liu is on the mound for Janesville Craig. Kid's going to be a stud this year. He's going to have a big season on the mound for the Cougars. And they're playing Sun Prairie East. And Sun Prairie, before they turn into East and West because of the new high school, the 2 dominant teams in that conference for the last 10 years have been Sun Prairie and Craig. There's no question about that. Should be a good game.
Janesville Craig, eager for a rematch after last weekend's narrow loss to Sun Prairie East, faced the Cardinals at Riverside Park on Friday. Drayton Liu started for the Cougars. East scored 2 runs in the first, but Craig responded with 1 after Paul Platts doubled and advanced on groundouts. East extended their lead to 4-1 in the second inning. Liu struggled with control, and Craig left the bases loaded. The Cardinals eventually won 11-2. Sun Prairie East is a good team, and they kind of took it to us. They punched us in the face, and we never bounced back, said Craig coach Josh Shear. We weren't gritty, and they were, Shear said. They battled in their at-bats, and we didn't. We didn't play good baseball, and as a coach, I'll take responsibility for that. Shear emphasized learning from the loss. We're going to experience events like this, and it's like, okay, it happened. But how are we going to bounce back tomorrow? Craig will face Verona and top pitcher Jack Detienne at 11 a.m. Saturday at Verona High. We need to find a way to coach these guys better and get them to play harder, Shear said. We're hoping for a change tomorrow. We need to see how we bounce back from adversity. Tim Seaman, Janesville Gazette. Jack Detienne, a Division I Xavier University recruit, struck out 11 Cougars in his 95-pitch no-hitter. Paul Platts walked to lead off the game, stole second, advanced to third on a dropped third strike, and scored on Charlie Klass's sacrifice fly to give Craig a 1-0 lead without a hit. Verona tied it in the bottom of the first with back-to-back doubles. Detienne allowed just one more base runner. Craig coach Josh Shear noted competitive at-bats early, but acknowledged Detienne took control after the third. "We have to find ways to have more competitive at-bats, even against a guy who's throwing 92, Shear said. Verona's offensive surge came in the fifth inning with 3 consecutive hits off Craig's starter Tyler Horkin. A balk, a double, and a sacrifice fly brought in 3 runs, making it 4-1. Horkin pitched 5 innings, giving up 4 earned runs on 9 hits, and struck out 3 Wildcats. Tyler pitched much better than his first start against Sun Prairie East, Shear said. Some runs came after misplayed balls. Facing a guy like Detienne, we have to be perfect defensively. Craig will play Oconomowoc at 4:30 p.m., Monday at Dockhound Stadium. Tim Seaman, Janesville Gazette. As April 13th approaches, the Janesville Craig Baseball Team find themselves at a pivotal juncture with just a 3-3 record. The Cougars are accustomed to higher standards. This young squad is navigating through a grueling schedule that has already pitted them against state powerhouse Sun Prairie East twice, encountering some of the toughest arms in the Big 8 Conference. Coach Shear, supported by seasoned mentors like 2015 state championship coach Herbst and pitching maestro Coach Campbell, understands the weight of every decision. With a core of seniors providing stalwart leadership and fostering a closely knit locker room, team chemistry proves to be their unifying strength. Yet, looming ahead are formidable challenges. They must still face formidable Madison Memorial, led by the dominant arm of Cashton Jones. A reunion with former Big 8 adversary Beloit Memorial awaits at Telfair Park, promising another test of their mettle. Crucial matchups with sectional rivals Lake Geneva Badger and Westosha Central also loom large on the horizon. Crosstown rival Janesville Parker is still on the docket, twice, and you can throw out the records when the 2 Janesville squads get together. On the next chapter of ball season, a journey to Dockhound Stadium, home of the MLB Partner League Lake Country Dockhounds, adorned with a towering jumbotron. Amidst the allure of new surroundings, the Cougars must maintain focus and treat each game with the utmost seriousness. For Coach Shear and his team, every pitch and play is a step towards their ultimate goal in the unpredictable saga of the 2024 season.